Wagwan, my viewers. Hope you had a wonderful Ash Wednesday break yesterday. Now, with all the negative, problematic issues befalling the dancehall artists like Squash, Lisa Hyper, Tanya Stevens, and now Jada Kingdom, me nah tell no lie. When I see Vibes Kartel these days, he's like a poster child for hope. Believe in your dreams and never give up. Have you noticed how Kartel is hopping from one plane to the next and interacting with people from various nationalities? Grace your eyes with these highlights. So nice. Kartel is living the reality of so many of us dreams. Remember, this is Make We Chat channel. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't be afraid to interact in the comment section. Viewers, for all who are dancehall fans and keeping up with the latest news of the dancehall celebrities, must know by now that the sixth boss, Squash, whose legal name is Andre Whitaker, was arrested last week on Tuesday, the 25th of February in Florida, USA. My viewers, the charges were hard for me to digest. But first, let me brief you on what led to the sixth boss getting into such serious trouble with the law in Trump's territory. The alleged reports stated that while Squash was driving with a friend in downtown Miami at around 2 a.m. in the morning, his car was pulled over by FBI agents who asked to search his vehicle. He agreed, and the search found 2 guns, a short-barreled shotgun, and a rifle. He was officially charged with the possession of a firearm and carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. So, my viewers, the essence of Squash's controversy is that an informant gives Squash's name to the FBI and tells them that Squash is a member of the G-City gang. And the informant goes further, giving them damning information that the G-City gang is at war with the Bad Breed gang. And viewers, the irony is that these gangs were feuding from back in Jamaica, Salt Spring, St. James. The aftermath of his arrest followed him being granted bail. But according to Sir P from Politrix Watch, knowing the harsh penalty for gun violations offense in Florida, Squash had to accept a plea deal to be an informant to rat out his gang members, given he was granted bail for such a serious offense. Given Squash's immigration status and his gangster-related charges before with U.S. laws, take a listen to Sir P's theory.
Go right into the glove box and you go before a court on a cheap Glock charge, and judge said just give me one little 2,500 DJ boy. File. No, because of the immigration case, they might still hold him on that. But him go get banned on the gun charge, cheap Glock, guy. Me can tell about Yankee, born and grow Yankee will get hold with cheap Glock. And the only band them and they know are the James Bond movie. Right now, in a Uncle Sam place. I'm telling you, guy, I better than roll with one body in the back of the trunk than roll with one cheap Glock. And that's for them born and grow citizens me I talk about. Much less one dopey bat from Hobby. Yo, big up the Informer fraternity, man. Nah, stop Inform. The brother with them always squash dog near me and supper in you. I tell you that. Dog near me. Or will there be a competition for who can tell the most? Will there be a competition for who can tell the most? Just like when certain things go down, I'm telling say guy, them the man they can't get them the sentence there unless him a leave. But Irish Saxon say, oh yo, you're idiot, cause them man a real man. Cause them things that you want to look dopey back down from around West Kingston or around Moby or somewhere down at Tel Aviv. Are the quote unquote top man to them thinks that them man they can't stand before the US court system and never gonna be like, oh Lord, I want top one, make you go easy pan him. Go easy pan, guy, your favorite done them a leak. When you see Uncle Sam plan big operation, go through all kind of trouble and give a man a little sentence, and you say, boy, I'm lucky. No, I'm not lucky, you're just simple. Simple folk. After you're done known to the police, repeat offender, man I go say, can I search your car? Yeah man, do you think me G? Nothing in here. And you just put gun in a glove box. Make this up. Police affair tell Squash to go easy. Please stop the chatting. Too much intel, dog. Too much intel. We only ask about that one murder and that two murder and the man over there so wash the guns then. Oh, you reach gone back down in some crime go on. Assault Spring in a 2012. Go easy now, man. Vile. Yo, Squash fans then make sure so now the onion lime ready for send over cause the right name vice box supposed to roast it like one old chop. The amount of abuse that you get. Please stop the chatting. Please stop the chatting. Me give intel in the yard and foreign. Big Informer, the whole of them. But we like informers. Cause me a big informer too. I just don't like when big informers go sing song about not informers and a disinformers. Come on, bro. I want link. I want you. Please stop the chatting.
It seems to me like Saltness rub off man Squash for the start of 2025 because it is now officially updated that Squash is currently in the custody of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. It is on their website that Squash was transferred to a detention center named Chrome North Service Processing Center in Florida. Given all that we have heard Sir P say over the years regarding Squash, whom he nicknamed the Teletubby, I believe he gave him that name because he's on the chubby side of body composure. I believe in all rational wisdom, Squash should have avoided getting his name called in badman business, given his history of running in with the laws here in his own country, Jamaica, let alone getting into trouble with the law in Trump's territory. And another thing, I don't know what's wrong with these dancehall artists wanting to live in the USA. Squash is such a talented young man. He should be putting his talent to use and staying away from gangs and all of them things there. Viewers, your thoughts? Viewers, apart from race and class prejudice, in this era of the new millennium, there is so much discrimination facing our country, Jamaica, the land of wood and water. I was taken aback in disbelief when I read in the Gleaner of a young man who by profession is a qualified, trained, and experienced teacher who came forward to the public by the way of the Gleaner to expose him being overweight was the factor that he was denied to become a teacher in a particular school which had a vacancy for a new teacher. This is how the Gleaner reported it. With 3 degrees and well on his way to attaining a PhD, Curtin Bennett is convinced that he was recently denied a teaching job at a high school in St. James because of his weight, a concern raised during his interview to fill a vacancy for an English language teacher. Bennett, a seasoned and accomplished teacher who currently works part-time at Verson Educational Service as a facilitator and a teacher of Caribbean Examination Council CXC English and Social Studies, said that after years of working with a non-government organization, he wanted to get back into the public education system. So he applied to fill the vacancy that existed at the school. The school responded positively to his application and in early February invited him to an interview, which was conducted by the head of the school's English department and the school's principal. I went for the interview and had a very good interview. Mind you, I have locks and expected older people and seasoned educators to ask me about my locks, said Bennett. Of course, I have navigated that issue successfully thus far. They asked me questions about the locks and that seemed to be a non-issue. I am articulate and answer to the best of my ability. Following the interview, Bennett said he got a call from the school offering the job. He was invited to visit the school to complete paperwork and meet the vice principal for the afternoon shift, where he was to be assigned. On his visit to the school, he was asked to do a second interview with the principal, the vice principal, a dean of discipline, and a guidance counselor. He said the principal informed him that the senior staff members were being used for interview because the new school board was not yet in place. During the interview, Bennett said the guidance counselor raised concern about his weight, and he believes that's what unfolded prevented him from getting the job. Rounding out to the interview, the guidance counselor shifted in his chair, and when it was his turn to ask me questions, he said, "I don't mean to offend you, and this is meant in no offense, but how do you navigate based on your weight?" recalled Bennett. And I asked, "What do you mean?" He then went on to say that I have worked at other schools, and he mentioned Herbert Morrison Technical High School, and the children there was much different from the ones here. He said that the children are mean and will say unkind things. I said to him that I have never been small, I've always been heavyset, said Bennett. Bennett said he went on to explain that I have lived in Jamaica for almost 35 years. Jamaica is one of the hardest training grounds for anybody different. So if I can survive and navigate Jamaica, I can navigate children. Bennett said, to his surprise, the interview shifted from his credentials and skills as a high school English language teacher to his medical background. Referring to the guidance counselor, he pressed and asked, "Do you have any comorbidities?" And I found it weird for him to be asking me that. But I said that the only thing I have are asthma and poor circulation. But those conditions have never stopped me, he said. Okay, and I left the interview. The day following the second interview, Bennett said he got a call informing him that he wasn't successful, and he was also told his weight was a sticking point. I was shocked, and immediately I wrote a letter and emailed it to the principal, indicating that I was disappointed, said Bennett, who said he felt that he was discriminated against because of his weight. I indicated to him I was most disappointed that in this day and age where we are teaching children that we should live in love and be accepting of everyone, that this is how educators think. I wasn't necessarily looking for a discussion on the issue. However, I am hoping they revisit some of their hiring practices because this is discriminative and quite biased. It is quite shocking that in this day and age, with teacher shortage, my weight was a striking point. People will tell you that I am a neat, fat man. I'm always smelling good. I've always carried myself well. I have 3 degrees, a bachelor's degree in English language, education, a master of business administration, and a master of science in communication. I am now working on a PhD, said Bennett. Viewers, please leave your thoughts into this issue of being overweight in Jamaica and getting discriminated against. Please leave your honest thoughts and tell me what you think. Viewers, on the topic of discrimination, do you know that there is old age discrimination in Jamaica? I am sure you would be surprised that it is not only younger persons who are using age belittling words against elders, but elders who are using them too against elders. The words big woman, mommy, moms, auntie, uncle, dads, and elder are some of the words people use to label mature men and women in Jamaica. And the brutally honest truth is, most women don't like it. I am sure most of you are familiar with Shawnee McGraham, former Miss Jamaica Universe and now a famous fitness coach and motivational speaker. Shawnee is just a natural, beautiful woman, and she relates a story of her being age discriminated against by someone seemingly in her own age group. Take a listen.
I am just curious to know, at what stage in a woman's life does she start now being referred to as mums or mummy? And I'm not speaking about by her children. I'm speaking about by another big horse-steering woman. So I go to purchase something. The receptionist looks at me and says, "Mums, I soon come to you." So I kind of, looked to my right and looked to my left and kind of went, okay. But I was a little bit confused because she have a cast eye and she wasn't really looking straight at me. So I wasn't too sure. But then when I looked to the right and looked to the left, I was the only person at the counter. And I kind of went to myself, at what age and stage of a woman's life are we now seen as a mums? I used to picture my mother when she did Big and All as a mums. I wasn't quite ready for that. And she did it very respectfully, but it wasn't a youngster. It wasn't like a teenager who looked at me and went, "Yes, mums." I would assume that this woman was almost my age. So I'm not too sure how I'm feeling. How I'm feeling right now. In that moment, it was a bit to process. It was a bit to process. But I would like to know at what stage and at what age are we now referred to as mums?
Viewers, give me your opinion on what you think about with the age and mature women being discriminated against because of their age and belittlement and so. And I'm saying you have a lot of vendors on the road calling, "Mummy, come buy this from me. Auntie, come buy this from me." The ladies don't like it. Address them as Miss and Mr. You know, if you say elder or dads, they're not your father and your mother and your mummy. The elder ladies are the more mature ladies don't like when people are men or women address them as that. Call them Miss, Mom, Lady. You understand me? Just address them. But when you specifically talk about auntie, it's like you're showing that they are so mature or they are in a particular age group that you have to stigmatize against them. The women don't like it, and vendors, if you're calling people, them buy them, or mommy come buy this, or pops come buy this, or dads or elder come buy. They not go buy nothing from one. They don't like it. Call them Miss and Mister. And viewers, this is where I say goodbye. If you have watched to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Until another upload, this is where I say goodbye. Goodbye.